Richard, okay.
Second.
Second. Madeline, okay. All right, let's stand for the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, could I have a motion to accept the minutes from the June meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and
Second it.
Madeline and Richard. Okay, this evening we have a guest. It's going to be an Eagle Scout project that Matthew is looking to do with his dad. And I'd like to welcome Matthew Murray and his dad, Michael Murray. Okay, you can stand and talk to us if you like.
Right. I'm just going to pass out these papers. That
Okay.
Just a little overview of the project.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't wait to see this
Thank
done. You don't know how you made my day when I heard this. Oh my God.
So, my name is Matthew Murray, and I'm a Boy Scout and a resident of Acushnet, Troop 11. I've been living in Acushnet my whole life, and I've been in scouting since I was 6 years old. I've made a lot of friends and family throughout that way, but now I'm a Life Scout, which is the second to last rank in Boy Scouting, and I have to do an Eagle project. And over the years, you know, I've always wondered what to do, and then it came across to me and my dad that this park down the road from us, which is where Perry Hill and Mendel Road meet, has been kind of unkept, and you know, there's been like sticks and just long grass, and just been kind of like a mess. It's been a mess for a few years now. And you know, I've driven by it recently since I got my license, and just my whole life. And I've decided that I would like, or to propose to like, to you know, clean and renew this space. You might be asking how will it be beneficial, and I was looking into this a lot. I was looking into like how to renew a park and such things as that, and I came across this thing called a pocket park, which is a small area that benefits and improves a community. They can strengthen a community's image and bring a sense of place and neighborhood pride. They can also be used for a large amount of variety social events. They enhance and strengthen the local character, and they can make the community safer and more sociable. And not to mention protect and conserve local wildlife, which I love. I fish, bike, and all of the above. But the hope for this project and the end result of this project would be to beautify a town historical site and make it more visible and accessible to town residents. So there'd be around 20 to 30 volunteers that we could get to work on this project.
Now, are they going to be all scouts, or are there other volunteers?
So it would be definitely the 13 scouts, parents, and then we're also thinking of bringing in maybe landscaping companies, like asking them if they would like to help out. And we could recruit just like public as well.
We're going to ask, one of our leaders is Matthew Tripp of the
Yeah.
DPW, and he'll hopefully be able to assist us
Good.
with some DPW help as well.
We need their equipment.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we got it.
Now,
That's right.
We mulching beds, taking
Yep.
out weeds, cutting grass. Today, just when me and my dad went to go down and check out the park, we found the
The bench?
well, that too, but where the old school used to be, and it's all
You got the foundation,
yeah,
yeah?
it's
Still there.
It's very overgrown. So we plan to, if we can, with Matt Tripp's help, maybe dig out some of that because it's very overgrown. all like the weeds and
Yeah.
poison ivy and all that. There's a lot of poison ivy also around like the water pumps. So
Yes, there is,
We're gonna
yeah.
kill that out.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
Did you notice the new bench where the water pump
I
is?
did.
Yes.
It's very nice.
That was just made this year.
Yeah, because that was on our list, because we've been looking at it for about the last year or so, and it was all broken.
Oh,
and-
was it? Yeah.
So I was very happy to see that was one box we could check off the list.
Good, good.
When we looked at the area where the school used to be,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a sign that like marked it, but so I was thinking maybe we could add
A sign.
a sign, you know.
That was my hopes.
Yeah.
That was my hope. That's why I've had the word out looking for a photo of the school,
Yeah.
and nobody seems to have one. What I have found is a very old pictures. So I'm looking for a nice photo of that school.
Yep.
I was gonna make a sign. Yes, we're on the right
Yep.
track.
Yep. And then we will also have to do fundraising, but
Yeah.
in the past because I'm not the first soon to be Eagle Scout or Eagle Scout to pass through my troop. Usually Lowe's actually likes to donate most of the stuff for
Okay.
free. We can just go and they'll be like, yeah, just take whatever you want and walk
No
out.
kidding.
Yep. So
Wow.
a lot of the cost will be down for like tools or safety goggles and gloves or whatever we really need.
Mhm.
Yes, plants and mulch included, of course.
Yeah.
And then we'll also be asking like area business donations and such as like that. Maybe like Jeffrey's Pizza or something for lunch one day.
Okay.
And stuff like that to take care of the kids. And then Scout Troop and Charter Organization donations as well. And then possible available town money, though I doubt we'll need too much of it, considering how much we're gonna be
Mhm.
good on everything else.
Good, good.
Transportation and such for the kids will be fine, parents and everything. And the only thing we have to really do other than that is we have to ensure the road safety, because where Perry Hill and Mendel Road meet is a very dangerous
It's a
area.
dangerous corner.
People come around that corner very fast. Even today, I was like,
Yes.
he was walking down there, I was like, yeah, be careful. you know?
Oh, yes. And when you park a car, make sure you go in.
Yeah.
Because my car has come very close
Yes.
at that corner.
Yeah, it's
Very
very-
nasty.
We were thinking of investing in like traffic cones or something to just like, you know, let
Yeah.
people know this is
Okay.
going on.
We're hoping that the DPW will be able to assist.
They
Well, that's what I was
should,
gonna
they
say.
should. Good, we got a good resource there with Matt.
Mhm, we sure do.
Oh, good. Okay, wow.
Yep.
I think this is a great project. The only thing, I have one question for the chair. What about the town liability on volunteers working on town property?
Okay,
That's-
I have already talked to the selectmen about it.
Okay.
And it's a go with them because it's an
Okay,
Eagle
that's fine.
Scout project.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is possibly tomorrow, I'm gonna stop in and see the town administrator and show him, you know, what's going to be done, and he would see what he tells me, if I have to go before the selectmen or not. I'm told by the selectman's office that as long as we give permission, that's all that's needed.
So
I'm gonna
if-
double check.
if anyone gets hurt of that, they're covered by the town?
I hope so.
I can say that we've had two other, as Matthew said, who perform work for the school department. They created out 2 outdoor classrooms as their
Yeah.
Eagle projects at the Ford Middle School.
Yeah.
And that was permissible. Also, the Boy Scouts also insures all the scouts.
Oh, they do?
If there are any
Okay.
issues, or if
Okay.
there's even
Well-
any damage. If we would cause damage to something else, we have over $1 million worth of insurance coverage.
Oh, wow.
If it's a Boy Scout approved
Uh-huh.
activity, we have coverage.
Wow,
We want to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
That's-
yeah. Well, we have to, and with the town, I know from the museum, you know, you always hear about liability,
Yeah.
liability.
And
Anybody gets
just as
hurt.
an aside, Dad's also a lawyer.
Dad's a lawyer. This is gonna be a great project. Oh, my goodness.
Defense or offense?
For the Commonwealth.
Good. Okay, so the transportation, okay. Now, do you have some of your own tools?
Oh, yes.
You do?
We plan, like I said, to use the bigger equipment, maybe possibly from that trip. And then in the past, we've also done like cleanups of like different sites, even like on like Earth Day
And
and
Council on
such.
Aging.
And Council on Aging, in fact.
Okay.
And we've like, most kids bring their own rakes and everything, so.
Oh, wow. Well, I know it's gonna be a great project. I am so excited. It was one of the best phone calls I ever got. Believe me, because my husband and I have gone over there and tried to weed whack.
Yeah.
Now, if you can imagine an 80-year-old and an 85-year-old trying to weed whack
Yeah.
at that corner. Yeah, that was really something.
Yeah.
So, it was a welcome phone call when I got it. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Because I am gonna talk to them tomorrow, but I don't see any problem at all because they told me that we have the go-ahead to do it.
Good.
Good.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
The only other question I have, Pauline.
Yes.
How about parking? Can we provide some type of parking off-street?
I would suggest, if you're gonna park over there at that corner, do not park right here at the corner. Go a little further up. There's like an opening. If you can get a couple of cars in there,
Yeah.
or off the road. As long
Yeah,
as
or further down Mendel Road
Further down,
perhaps.
yeah.
How about the
Church.
Plain Church?
You could use the
Yeah.
church parking lot.
I was thinking of.
Yeah,
maybe
I
this-
mean, people use it to buy apples, so
Yeah, yeah.
you can use that lot.
Sure.
Yeah. I had 2 Eagle Scouts actually do projects in that church.
Oh, really?
Yes, so, you know, you guys have really been wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Okay, so I will talk to the Elisa tomorrow in the Selectman's office, but I'm sure it's gonna be a go. Shouldn't be
Yep.
any problem at all.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're gonna get started.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be there cheering you on.
Okay, so in terms of that, it's a very involved process, so
It is.
with your approval tonight, we'll be able now to go to the next step, which is filing a lot of paperwork with the Boy Scouts of America,
Right.
both locally and nationally.
Right.
We have to get approval from them on the project.
Right.
Once we get approval, Matthew gets approval from them,
Mhm.
then he can begin the logistical process of getting funds and beginning the work.
Right, right. Now, do you have paperwork that actually has to be signed by the town or by the commission?
Probably
Okay.
that you're assenting to it, you
Yes.
approve of it, and it may be, you may also need to sign something once it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I had to do that for the
Yeah.
church.
And we'll know more of that when we get it all
Get
back
it
from
going.
Boy Scouts and
Okay.
nationally.
Okay, thank you very much.
No
We
problem.
really appreciate this project.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow, that's wonderful. That was good news. Okay. All right. Oh, and I don't know if you had, like, this is the picture that I have taken of the sign that is there.
Yes.
And my hopes was to have a larger sign made, and it just didn't work out because the lot hadn't got cleaned out. So there's no sense spending money on a sign until it's actually complete.
Yeah,
And then we can decide where to put it,
exactly.
okay? That would be great.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of old plantings
Yeah.
Yep.
and the trees, because when the beautification committee was there trying to clean out some, I met with her there, Brittany, and we had red maples, we have a dogwood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
A holly.
old trees,
There's a
holly
holly.
tree.
Yeah.
They're all in between, lilac, there's a beautiful lilac bush. So there's a lot of old plantings that really belong there,
But
you know?
others are gonna be pruned.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, we were looking at them today, and some of them are probably going to be taken away depending on like how close they are to the sign and how
Yeah.
messy they are.
Yeah,
But others, including like, I think I want to keep the red maple. It's very nice, you know, pretty.
Yep.
And then others will be pruned and such. and just like keep it nice
Yeah,
and neat.
because they're kind of like close
Right now,
together,
as that picture
suggesting.
shows, it's a wall.
A wall.
Yeah.
And it, we were thinking about opening it up.
Yeah.
Because it
See,
Yeah.
hides the, like,
Yeah.
the actual
Well, you
carpet
could probably
itself.
trim a lot of them way down,
Yeah.
even, you know?
Oh, yeah. We'll stay, we'll prune, make them nice shaped.
Mm-hmm,
But there were one or two that may have to go.
yeah, that's
Just too-
okay.
They're just too big.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, they've been overgrown for years.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate that when I first started talking about that corner and got the beautification committee involved with it, you know, we just didn't have enough help. You know, it was one girl showing up to try to do it, and it would take forever in a day to do it,
Yeah.
you know? But this is gonna be great. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I will be there cheering you on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very, very
You
much.
can come hand out the pizza to the boys.
There you go. Okay. You're welcome to stay, or you can leave. It depends on you. If you want to stay through the rest of the meeting.
Wanna stay for the rest of the meeting?
It's up to you, George.
Okay.
Let's stay another second.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Do we have to take a vote on this to make it official, or is that?
Well, we should take a vote on the approval of this, yes. That way I can go to the selectman's office and say, we've got approval. And 3 of us out of 4 will be okay,
Yes.
all right? So we make a motion to have this project started and completed, hopefully.
I'll make a motion that we go forward with this project.
Okay, Richard made a motion. I have a second, Rich. Okay, Madeline. All in favor?
Aye.
All 3 of us. There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so the rest go on the rest of the meeting now. I'm doing some research on the Tabors. I don't know, Richard, how familiar you are with the Tabors in Acushnet.
Well, I know Ruth Tabor, she was my 3rd grade teacher, I think,
Ruth Tabor
and in Long Plain.
in Long Plain. Okay.
She
This
lived-
lady, Evelyn Tabor, was born on the corner of Hamlin Street and Main Street. You know the yellow house that the Correys own?
See, when I was a kid, that was Nick's Poultry Farm.
Right.
There was a big barn in the back
Yes.
with all his hens.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was, Evelyn Tabor was born and raised there. And from the research that I've been doing, the Tabors go back to the 1700s in Acushnet, okay? And basically from Hamlin Street down to where the driving range is, and a little beyond, because you know the White House with the gingerbread trim? That was also a Tabor.
Because Ruth Tabor, my teacher, lived in that. I think it's red, like a barn red color now, the house.
Okay, right on Main Street?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Elliot Tabor was right next to us. He had well, down the street from us, he had a repair garage, and that's what he did. And
Uh-huh.
that's where Townie is now.
Okay, with Frank, yeah, Townie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That
then-
was Elliot Tabor?
I believe it was Elliot Tabor. And then Frank Tabor lived next door to us in that house that Smith has got now.
Next door, my
Just
daughter's.
her
next to your daughter's.
Yeah, our daughter, yeah.
That was Tabor there.
That,
So
that,
they went
that was
even
Frank
further.
Tabor, yeah.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
his wife Mildred used to bookkeep for the farm.
I'll be done. See, once you start digging into history, honest to God, it's like, I'm overwhelmed because I get telephone calls like this one here. The daughter came down to visit me. The daughter lives in Rehoboth. The daughter Paula. She called me one Sunday and she said, I would like to come down and bring things to the museum that were my mother's. And I said, who is your mother? She said, Evelyn Tabor. She said she was born and raised on the corner of Hamlin Street and Main Street. I said, oh my goodness, this is getting close to home now, right?
Yeah, right.
I live on Hamlin Street, so when she told me that, I said, oh boy. And then we started doing the research. And oh my goodness, I went back further and further.
So what did she bring?
She brought me a box, in fact, I haven't gone through all of it yet. It's some wooden items. Some things are, I can't quite figure out what they are. But one of the items, who looked at it yesterday? Oh, the guy from the Well Company was there yesterday, he toured the museum with me. I've got a wooden item that stands maybe 6-8 inches tall, and it's got a blade. It's like curved, and it's got a blade in it. And he explained to me something about making molding with it. He knew what it was. He told me the name. I should have wrote it down because I don't remember now. But I've got a box of all kinds of wooden items that were her mother's, and some of them I don't know what they are. But I got to sort through it. All for the museum. But this is what happens. I'll get a call, and my mother or father was so-and-so, and first thing I know, they're bringing items to the museum, so we're running out of room. Sure, for sure. The other thing that was very interesting on this was that the Cousin House, the Severance property, yeah, was owned. See, what I wrote here. Captain Walter Tabor and his wife Jane Peckham Tabor. They bought the house in 1849, were there till 1892.
Was that before Severance or after Severance?
I think it was after. I think it was, they bought it from Severance.
Okay.
And then after the wife passed away, he passed away first, she passed away, she left her son Edward in the house there. 1889 is when she died. Okay, he stayed there for 3 more years. But then he sold the property, and between 1892 and 1939, the property changed hands 6 times. And in 1939 is when the Cusson family bought the home. And they're the ones that added the kitchen and bathroom on the first floor, and all the bedrooms upstairs was done by the Cussons. I got the paperwork showing all this. It was unbelievable. The more I dug, the more interesting it was really getting, you know?
Now, would that be any relation to the Arson Cousins, the old fire chief?
Well, you know Leo Cusson, the plumber?
Yeah,
He was related to them.
okay, so.
He lives over here on
In
Wing Road.
the Acushnet.
Yeah, they're cousins or whatever. They're all related. All related. Yeah. So, you know, between the Tabors, and another call I had gotten was from the Acushnet Elementary School. There's a new librarian there. And she called me, she called Dina at the library, and Dina referred her to me because of the hysterical. In the library in Acushnet Elementary is a photo, or a painting of a gentleman, no name or anything on it. But there's a plaque there that says the Burt family. The Burts from Middle Road, near Weldon Lane. I had to do some research on that one to get to the bottom of this. But the painting is, how can I explain this? He was I can't think of his first name right now. James Burt. He died in the war in France at 21 years old. That painting is what she's got in the library. And what the plaque, from what I understand, was the Burt family every year donated to the library in Acushnet Elementary School. And as they died off, you know, the family member would take over and donate every year. And then Mrs. Knowles, that she lived in Texas, she was a Burt. Okay, and she passed away with her son from COVID. She was 96. And she was contributing until she passed away at the Acushnet Elementary School library. So the more you dig back, oh my goodness, I've got a thick batch of paper this thick regarding the Burt family, and now with the Tabors, because I'm digging more and more and finding out more and more. And like you come up with more information, different names, you know? But it's amazing, once you get into this history, you can't stop. I get into the history book over and over and over again, and my husband will say, aren't you tired of reading that? And I no, it's like I'm glued to it, you know? Because you're always seeing or reading something different. It's really, you get really attached to it, you really do. So, anyways, I wanted to fill you in on that because that was very, very interesting. Okay, and under old business, Verizon went out to the museum. They had to change some wiring out there. Okay, the lines are working fine. My telephones are not. And I've waited for this gentleman twice already. He hasn't showed up. And today I had to leave because I had a doctor's appointment. He left a note on the door that he'll be back tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm stuck up there again, waiting for Verizon to come in and fix my phones. Yeah, right now you can call in to the museum, but if you pick it up to dial out, you get a dial tone, but you can't do the numbers. It won't go through. I don't understand what's wrong, but something is wrong. They got to come back out and fix it. Okay? And we also had an issue with our well pump. Oh boy. That was scary. That was really scary. But I found some paperwork. Thank God. Alan was very good, Alan Parker. And I've got a book that I've put together with everything about that museum. You know, anything that happens to me, somebody will know everything that I had to learn on my own. But anyways, the well is 300 feet deep.
I was going to school there when they dug that
Dug
one.
that well?
And drilled it, yeah.
The first one, because we have,
The one that's up front. On the
really?
side, yeah.
Because there's one with a metal cover on the side of the school, when you drive in on the side near the fence. Alan told me that was the old well.
It could have been, because
Yeah,
this is back in the 50s,
Okay.
that one out front. Well, it's on the side.
yeah,
When you're driving in, it's on the right-hand side. Going
the
in.
wooden box.
I guess there's a wooden box around it now, yeah.
Yeah, that, from the paperwork that I've got, that one was dug in 2002.
Well, I know they dug a well there.
Yeah,
Back
there
in the
was two
50s.
wells. There was two wells at one time. I don't know what happened with the first one, but then they had the second one done. But the paperwork says 2002, and it lists everything that they put in to that well, and it was like $4,000 at that time. Yeah,
And a
if I had a problem now, oh my goodness, it would be costing a fortune. But thank God, everything's okay, checked everything out. He did say that, you know, the tank down cellar, those tanks usually last about 20 years.
The oil tanks?
Not the oil tank. My oil tanks have already been replaced
Right.
because they were leaking underneath. But this is the water tank.
I thought the hot water heater? Oh, the tank for the pump.
For the well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that was put in 2002. He said they last about 20 years, so we're right at the 20-year point. So, could be facing a, you know, with a new tank or whatever. We had to replace the hot water heater. That was gone, 2006. So we didn't dare fill it up. It was going to leak. And now today was the well. My phones are not working. We're running really good this year, you know? Everything's going wrong. But, hey, we'll get through it with Apple Peach, hopefully.
They're gonna hold it, huh?
They're gonna hold it.
That's great. We live practically across the street.
I
from
know
it.
you do. I know exactly where you live.
Sure.
The
And,
big house.
Yeah, we're about 5 minutes walk from the.
From the museum.
Montclair Museum. Sure.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. You gotta come and visit us more often.
Well, I think we will.
Okay.
My house was built during the second administration of Andrew Jackson
Oh.
in, I believe, 1832 thereabouts.
Oh, my. Who built it? Who owned it back then?
I've got all the old papers. I couldn't tell you offhand without taking a look at them, but for many years it was owned by people named Latendra.
Oh.
That's who we bought from in the year 2000.
Okay.
That's all I know.
1832.
Latenda's house, we used to park at Apple Beach.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
yeah.
lot that was right next door.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in that area, those houses are pretty old.
They are, they truly
They're all-
are. Many of them have historic markers on them. We have one, I'm not sure if it's in place because we did, an awful lot of work on the outside of the house, but it had something that spoke of, many years ago.
The plaque,
Yes,
yeah,
oh yeah.
that's what we do. We have the plaques made and put on. I've done quite a few since I've been on the commission
Uh-huh.
with the plaques. Very interesting.
Oh,
And you get to see these old houses, they're beautiful. Oh, I love them. But I don't live in an old house either, so, I don't know what happened there. But, okay, so you have Verizon, anything else under old business or new business? Nothing, Richard, usually you find something to tell me.
No, I think,
No? Now, your house dates back what?
well, as far as, we've got pictures back to somewhere around 1850, but it goes back a little older than that.
That, they own Flying Cloud,
Oh, for goodness
the
sake.
Apple,
Yes, of course.
that's the owners right here.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
You didn't bring a pie?
But 18,
Well, we've got one picture dated 18,
Well, the original
Seven.
house, not the way it is now.
it was raised, right?
Yeah.
It was raised up.
Right.
Like this place.
who was it, not Howland, yeah. Howland was the one, he had the farm. Was it Howland? Oh, boy. I'm getting old age creeping in. But anyways, he's the one that, he bought the farm from Tabor.
Tabor.
And
So a Tabor owned your house?
at one time, yeah. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna get that picture. We've got a picture of the Tabor family in front of that house.
Oh, you gotta bring
But-
that for me to see.
But it was a
Oh,
little four-room cape.
really? So it was like one floor.
Right. And
So then they raised it?
then, I want to say Howard. Why can't, yeah. Anyways, the one that bought it from Tabor, he had a truck farm. He grew vegetables and with horse and buggy and
Yeah.
horse and wagon, brought him into New Bedford. And he, in the 1890s, he jacked the whole house up
Wow,
and built the first floor underneath.
1890s.
And then Windsor bought the property around, I want to say around 1912 or so, 10 or 12. And then, why can't I think of his name? Anyways, he bought,
Fuller?
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 Yeah, George Fuller, I'm sorry.
George Fuller,
not
yep.
Howard.
That name's familiar.
And he built the house next door to us, on the north side of us.
Okay.
And then Windsor put the back addition, that was the last addition, back in 1927, 28.
So the house next door to you is also that old house that the gentleman passed away?
Yeah.
And they sold it?
Right.
So how old
that
was
was
that
Fuller bought that, built that house, and that's gonna be 1912.
That new? 1912 or 1812?
1912,
Really?
yeah. That was
Because
next
the
door.
house was before that one.
Yeah.
I
And,
thought that one was
and
a
then when
lot older.
Fuller sold the farm to Windsor, then he built that house next door.
Wow. And a young family is there now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. Like I say, almost all those houses up on Main Street, they're all, could be 1800s. All of them, all the way up. It's very interesting, very.
Wasn't Main Street called Long Plain Road for
Correct.
many years there?
Correct.
There, sure.
I've got a
On the old
survey
maps.
map that
Yes,
says
a lot of
Long
the old
Plain.
deeds
Yeah.
and things refer
Yeah.
to Long Plain Road, of course.
Yep. Even on the old maps, I've got two of them at the museum, 1871 and 1895.
Yep.
It says Long Plain Road, all the way up.
Oh, sure. Well, that's what they called it. That's all.
Back then, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so nothing else under old and new business. Okay, our next meeting will be September 19th, here at Town Hall Meeting Room at 6:30. Okay.
Now, this gentleman is here for,
This gentleman is here to listen on our meeting
Oh,
because
okay.
Eric and I are trying to get him to join the commission.
well, I was gonna make that motion to him.
Well, I haven't fallen asleep, and I certainly don't feel bored, so.
Oh, no, we have a good time with these meetings because
Oh, yeah.
we talk a lot about the old properties.
Oh, sure.
So
So
interesting.
you'd fit right in.
That sort of talk. Yeah.
The museum is 1875,
Sure.
you know? You ought to see that building now. We've been in there cleaning because of it being closed for 2 years. You can imagine an 1875 building.
Indeed.
There's 4 of us have been in there scrubbing and cleaning. We tackled the kitchen. The kitchen is shining. It looks beautiful. But we'll destroy that in 2-day weekend for Apple Peach. We'll be doing it all over again.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so, all right, we're all set with our next meeting.
You know, Eric told me this. Eric said that there would have to be some sort of letter written by you folks to the selectmen suggesting or something.
No, all you have to do is go into the selectman's office
Yep,
and tell them you'd like to fill out the form to join the historical commission.
okay.
And she'll give you the sheet of paper. I don't have them.
Okay, I'll go look with it tomorrow.
Oh, super.
Yeah, see,
Super.
I still do a fair amount of research work and so forth, primarily on the island of Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, really?
Well, I've been active, more there than any place else. I have ancestry on Nantucket, though, back to 1760. It is rumored that my Norwegian ancestors may well have come over as Viking raiders and battled the Indians in the Gloucester area.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know how you'll ever prove it, because most of those guys couldn't write. They knew how to bend their right arms, but I don't
Yes.
think they knew how to write. Didn't need much of a record. However, interestingly enough, on the part of Martha's Vineyard called Squibnocket, they have found some runic stones that were lying around. Runic stones were not the work of the native Indians ever. It was strictly something done by Viking raiders. You know, it's sort of worry beads or something. But they found those lying there, and that was proof to them the Vikings certainly had been on the
Been there.
vineyard probably 1,000 years ago and left these behind,
Wow.
because there was no other possible explanation for them.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You don't do research in Acushnet at all?
I haven't really had any reason or opportunity, other than I did do the title to the property that we ended up purchasing.
Okay,
And that took us back a ways.
yeah.
And of course, it's all country-style descriptions. There were no survey plans in the chain of title. However, the people abutting us on the north had a terrific subdivision plan made. So
Oh,
we had a freebie survey made of our entire northern line. It's the best kind of surveys to have, the ones you don't have to pay for.
That's
you
right.
rely on.
you're right.
Because see, the whole northern line is more or less defined by stone walls. It goes back something like 2,000 feet.
Wow,
So, thank you, friends, thank you, abutters.
wow.
No, they divided that property up into 7 lots.
That's on Davis Lane? Is that Davis?
Not quite, you're getting close, but
Okay.
not quite. But anyway, I kept a copy of that because it was very helpful. At least you knew where you were walking and everything. You knew exactly where your property began and ended out on the highway, too.
I would love to see that, if you've got the paperwork.
I'll see if I can dig it up. It may take some digging, because we've got an
Digging.
awful lot of stuff
But
at home there.
if you could bring that into a meeting, we'd love to see that
Okay.
and chat over it.
Okay, now, I think probably the original is on record down in the New Bedford Registry of Deeds
Oh,
anyway.
I'm sure.
but one way or another, I'll get you one.
I've been down to that registry of deeds so many times,
Sure.
doing research on these old properties,
Sure.
trying to find out who the original builder was, the original owner, to put a plaque on a property. Right now I've got 2 properties that have got me stumped. Okay, one right on Main Street, a couple of doors down from Hamlin Street.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of her name, the house on the hill.
Yeah.
You're the one on, I can't think of her last name. When you come down from Hamlin Street, the corner house, then there's the school teacher's house, then there's the business. That was Buddy's business. Okay, and then behind it is the house on the hill.
Honahan owned it years ago.
Yeah, it's not Honahan now,
selectman.
it's
No, Morrison was the last one.
Morrison.
Yeah.
Morrison. Okay, Morrison's house, and then the house next to it, coming down the hill, that girl wants me to get a plaque for her. And she's told me the name, the Morrison lady still lives in the house.
Yep.
I think it's the daughter. And she's told her who that house belonged to. The one next to it, the gray house.
That was Pepin when I was a kid.
But I'm talking years and years
Well, yeah,
back.
back when.
It could have been Samuel Hamlin. We found Samuel Hamlin's name at the Registry of Deeds. But she insists that it goes back further than that, and we can't find it.
That
Not
can
in
be
the
tough
registry.
sometimes, yeah. That can be tough, finding
Oh.
stuff that far back, because sometimes they were kind of sketchy in the way they...
Very sketchy.
Oh.
I've got a sheet of paper at home with all the names that we're finding,
Yeah.
and we can't get down to the original, because she thinks it was built towards the late 1700s, going into
Wow.
1800.
Yeah.
Did they keep records back then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, you gotta dig for them. And that's not pretty. Not pretty.
Oh, one other thing that might be some minor interest. Several years ago, I think it was back in the late 80s, I was approached by members of the Daughters of American Revolution chapter on Martha's Vineyard, and they said, we would like to be able to prove, if it is possible to go back far enough in the deed records, to prove that the building that now, for a number of years has housed the Vineyard Gazette, the weekly newspaper over there, that we believe that building was owned by a figure prominent locally on the Vineyard in the American Revolution. If we can prove it to the satisfaction of some outfit down in Washington DC, they will come and they'll put a handsome metal plaque up on our building here, or rather the newspaper building, setting forth the facts. Well, we did some digging back. It was not easy. It was tough, but we found exactly what they were looking for. They came, they put the metal plaque up,
They
as nice as
did?
pie.
Wow.
Yeah, and,
Oh, my God.
oh yeah, no, it was very nice, just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's very interesting, digging back into
Oh,
history.
Sure it is.
Like, very, very
Here's
interesting.
something else I found out that has a number of people did not know, including many New Yorkers. They did not know that until 1692, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, Block Island, Rhode Island, did not belong to Massachusetts or Rhode Island. They belonged to the colony of New York. And the colony of New York lost them because when William and Mary came on the throne in 1688, they were disgusted about the fact that New York seemed to be ignoring these smaller islands, paying very little attention to them. They didn't, they were paying a lot of attention to Long Island, the biggie, but the little ones there, they had just kind of had very little interest in. So William and Mary took those islands away from the New York colony, gave Block Island to Rhode Island, and the other islands to Massachusetts at that point. But many were astounded because they thought they had always belonged to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Not so,
Wow.
not so.
And I remember being a kid going down to Woods Hole, going down to Nantucket.
Sure.
My father used to be on the Steamship Authority, and on weekends.
What was his name?
My father
Yeah.
was Frank Lawrence.
I guess I've seen the name someplace, from long ago, yeah, because,
Yeah.
That outfit's been there a long time.
He used to ride, every weekend, it was his job to ride the boat to the islands and back, deliver the mail. That's at that time, they used to
Oh,
do
for goodness
it
sake.
by the ferry. Yeah, very interesting.
Sure.
Okay, may I have a motion to,
Make the motion.
Second?
okay, we're all set here.
Okay.